Okay, good afternoon and welcome to Mishna Yomi. Today's Mishnayos is Parak Vav, Mishnah Hay, and Mishnah Vav will be concluding Parak Vav, a short parak. Mishnah Hay says, Ein Mishalmim min Aleker min Hashich min Apeya min Hefker. Right? This whole parak is talking about if you inadvertently ate the Truma of a Kohen, either after the Hafrasha or after you gave it to a Kohen, and you ate a B'shogi, you have to pay him back, Chulin, right? And it becomes Truma when you give it to the Kohen. You have to pay him back in Chulin, so you lose a lot of money on this because you can't pay with Truma. You can't pay your Chol with other Truma. So you have to pay with Chulin. You're going to lose money on this, but that's part of it. And you have to pay a Chomesh also, a Knas, 1/5 the value of whatever you took from the Kohen. Ein Mishalmin Alekim and Shecha Peya. You can't take from Matnos Aniyim, right? Leka is Shecha Peya. Leka is the grains that fall. Shecha, if you're an Ani, right, or he forgot, the owner of the field forgot certain crops over there. I mean, Peya, he's supposed to leave a corner of his field. I mean, Hefker, something is ownerless. Below me, Ma'aser Rishon Shnila Trumaso. Below Ma'aser Sheni V'Hekdesh Sheniftu. All these things, Ma'aser Rishon Shnila Trumaso. A Levi gets Ma'aser Rishon and take off Truma's Ma'aser. That is not, you can't pay your chov with that. Below Ma'aser Sheni V'Hekdesh Sheniftu. Also, if Ma'aser Sheni Hekdesh, that you redeem them and now they're chulin, you also can't pay. Shein hekdesh podes hekdesh divrei remeir chum matir be'elu. Chum say the last two, ma'aser shein hekdesh sheniftu. Those we pass on the chum. Those two you could pay. The reason in the first half of the Mishnah you can't pay these things is because these things it has to have called a zikas truma. It has to have a relationship to truma because part of this transaction is when you repay the chulin to the kohen, it becomes truma. So it only is shaykh for it to become truma if it had a shaykh, if it was eligible to be truma in the first place. Matnos aniyim are not chayiv in trumas and Hefker is patur in trumas and ma'asos. But ager alevi imcha, right? It's only trumas and ma'asos, only things which everyone has a portion in. Matnos aniyim and Hefker, which everyone doesn't have a portion. They belong to a specific person, but everyone has a reason, an ability to take them. So therefore, there's no chayiv in trumas and ma'asos. So you can't convert chulin into become truma if it was never eligible for trumas and maestros. And the same thing, Ma'aser Rishon Shenila Truma also is given to a Levi specifically, and even though you took off Trumas Gedola, it's not exactly Shayach to Trumos, right? Because it's given to the Levi. It's not Shayach. The Trumos come from Israel to the Kohen. Ma'aser Hekdesh Sheniftu, Ma'aser Sheni and Hekdesh were originally part of Tevel, and now they're chulin because you're po to them. So the Chum do allow you to do this because they are chulin after all, and originally they were part of the Tevel, so they were shayach to Truma, so they can now become Truma. Relezer obviously holds once they're makdish them, so therefore they're removed from the status of giving to a kohen anymore. They're hekdesh, and they're patur from Truma, so you can't revert that back to be chulin. It's like a new thing. The Chum say no, it goes back. Maybe a machlokas and how you view the pidyon of hekdesh and ma'aser sheni vav. Reb Lezer Omer, mishalmin min al she'eno mino. You can pay back if you stole apples. You can pay back cucumbers. As long as you pay back a type of crop that's more valuable. So if you stole oranges, right? Maybe you can pay back the pink lady apples because they're more valuable than the mandarin orange. Rezer says, right, that's what the Rav explains. It has to be something more valuable because, again, like we said, the Truma does not entirely belong to the Kohen. The value does not belong to the Kohen. The goof, the actual Truma, physical Truma belongs to him in order for it to use. So, therefore, you have to restore. It's not just compensation. It isn't compensation of the value. It's restoration of the physical Truma. So, if you're going to give him back something less, something worth less, then you're being mafsid the kuna. So you have to give him something either equal, but it's the amount. He only owns the amount. He doesn't own the value at all. So therefore, even if you paid him in something which is better, but you paid him less, that's not okay. You have to pay the exact volume, the weight, the volume, or the weight or the volume. You have to pay the exact weight or volume back because that's what you stole from him. You have to pay back not just the exact volume, you have to pay back the exact species, right? Cucumbers, pay cucumbers, apples. The halacha would be if you stole kishuin, which would be cucumbers on ereshvius, on the shishis, and the rest of them are not good anymore, so you can't give them to the kohen. You have to wait until kishuin of the 8th year to pay back. The 7th year is shvius, and you can't be poreya, you can't do schora. We learn in Masechah Shvius with Perah Shvius. Shalezer Mekel, Misham Rabbi Kiva Machmer. Like we said, Relezer's Mekel, you can pay back with a different min, different species. Rabbi Kiva says it has to be the exact same species. Remember, Menassim Lakohen, it's a Kodesh, Kol Shu Roilios Kodesh. Pasuk tells you have to repay it, the Kohen, you give the Kohen Kodesh. It doesn't specify what type of Kodesh, any Kodesh. Anything which is Roy to turn into Kodesh. Right? In the previous mission, it has to be Shayach, that it could have had Shuvas Ma'aser taken off of it. Kiva Omer, Menassim Lakohen, it's a Kodesh, Kodesh Achal. Give the Kodesh as HaKodesh with the Hay. It must be the Kodesh, the exact thing that you took from him, you have to repay him with. That's the conclusion of today's Mishnah. Stay tuned for Ian and Mishnah. We'll discuss more. It's Machlokas, Lezer, Rabbi Kiva. See you there.